Next up, your goal isn't automated and it depends too much on human discipline. All I will say is if you think you are the most disciplined person in the world, every person's discipline can fail when life gets busy. So if you tell yourself that you're going to increase the amount that you're investing, but you have to leave it up to your own discipline and motivation to do so, you're not going to do it as consistently as you could have if you just set an automatic contribution from your checking account to your investment account. Not only that, even if you are as consistent, it will make it much harder in terms of how it feels than the process of automation. Because as I've shared, the brain has a magical ability to get used to things that happen in the background. With investing, it's not just automatic contributions, which are powerful, it's also automatic increases like you find in your company 401k, where instead of saying I'm just contributing 3% or 5% of my pay, you say I'm going to contribute 5% of my pay towards my 401k, and I'm going to set it so that every single year it automatically increases that contribution rate by 1% until it reaches a cap of say 10 or 12%. Those are things that, especially as your income increases, you can take advantage of automation. You can take advantage of the power of the mind's ability to forget things and get used to things and use all of these behaviors and characteristics to your favor. The next reason your financial goals fail is because they ignore other parts of your finances. I am hoping that there are some phrases, if you listen regularly, that you just know I say by now, right? Like that's Brenton's thing. Like, I didn't create the juice isn't worth the squeeze, but I say it enough that it should be like partially mine. But another thing that should be partially mine, and I don't hear a lot of people saying it, is that finances don't operate in a vacuum. Anything that you do in one area of your finances, it affects at least one other area of your finances. And this is something that you see all the time when people set goals that don't take into consideration the balance of your finances. And it's well intentioned. I would say the most consistent goal that I see people set is to decrease debt. And when you look at things in a vacuum, there's typically one debt that bothers people more than others. It's often credit card debt as an example. So let's say we have a person who has a $10,000 balance on their credit cards, and they look at that $10,000 and they say, I've had this credit card debt for years and years and years. It's a $300 minimum payment. I just want it gone. Now, this same person has a car, and that car has $7,000 left on it, and it's costing them $500 a month. Now, not only would it cost less money to pay off the car, it would actually save them more moving forward because now they have $500 extra in their budget as compared to the $300 minimum payment from the credit card. But like I said, this person is not as stressed out by the car payment because they say everybody has to have a car. They're much more stressed out by the credit card debt, and they're motivated, which is a good thing. But if you're looking at things and saying this doesn't happen in a vacuum, I would say you can actually make it easier to have no debt at all by putting extra payments towards your car payment. And not only do you free up more on your budget in total, you also can now more aggressively attack the credit card debt and knock off both much faster than if you did it in reverse. It's actually another form of the snowball method versus the avalanche method. Another huge example that I see is people who are motivated to increase college funding for their child or retirement funds for themselves without looking at the balance of their assets. This is something when you talk about college planning that has led to people saying that I'm anti-529, which I'm not anti-529 accounts. I am anti someone taking a significant amount of money and putting it into an account that has to be used for education before they can show that they've met metrics for their own finances. Because I can assure you, the better off you are financially by the time your child gets to college, the better off your child will be in terms of your ability to support them. But when I see people who are motivated and they say, I don't want my child to have to go through what I went through, I'm going to start putting $200 a month into their 529 or $100 a month into their 529, and they're saving nothing for themselves. They're on a quick path to their child getting to school, not having enough in the 529, also not having enough in their other investments accounts, and now every goal has to be sacrificed. Your child has to take out loans, or you have to cash flow it, meaning you can't put aside money in your own retirement, which increases the likelihood that when you get to retirement age, you have to depend on your child, and no one is better off by that type of decision making.